Hello and welcome back to the MLB DFS slate breakdown for Monday, June 2nd. We are back. We're breaking it down. We have a solid slate today. I'm your host, Tyler Wiemann. And come join us at LineStar. We do have a 7-day free trial through the App Store's Android or iOS App Store. It gets you access to everything we do, all the sports for the apps, for the website. You get it all. Best ball, props, DFS, whatever you want to do. Now, let's dive in. As always, we are going to start with doing some review of yesterday. Then we'll dive into today's 6-game slate on FanDuel and on DraftKings. We'll start with the perfect lineup. Get into the winning lineups. Unfortunately, no FanDuel winning lineup today as the FanDuel site was giving me a little problems. Where yesterday's lineup would not come up. So we'll do the DraftKings winning lineup. We'll do both perfect lineups. Then get over to today for pitchers to consider and some stacks. All right, starting with the FanDuel perfect lineup. Garrett Crochet putting up 64 was the pitcher you needed to have. And then we had a 2-man Cub stack and all one-offs. 310.1 was your perfect lineup score. 34,900 was the salary that took. Then getting over to DraftKings. Let's see that. So we got Garrett Crochet. We got Taj Bradley. 7,200 went for 32.75. Just a dominant performance out of him. Then we had a 2-man Cub stack and all one-offs on that perfect lineup, where the winning lineup went to JBC, who had Gavin Williams, Garrett Crochet, 2 chalk pitchers getting it done. And then they had a old 5-man Texas stack, 2-man Mets, 1 Toronto. So the old 5-2-1, as we commonly talk about as being the most profitable lineup on DraftKings once again was. Now let's dive in and see what we can uncover as far as pitching as a whole today. So on to DraftKings. Jack Flaherty, your high-owned pitcher for today, 32% owned, versus the Chicago White Sox, and he's only 9K, so it makes some sense that people want to go there. Flaherty, however, has not been having as good of a season as we expected. 3.94 ERA on the season isn't bad, but he does have a 4.81 FIP over his last 20 starts and a 4.56 over the last 5. ERA right around there too. His K rate is solid though, 25% over the last 20 starts. 31% over the last 5. So there is some upside in that K department, but his StatCast data has looked pretty ugly. And then we got the White Sox, who, as we know, it's ugly. 227 average, 134 ISO, sub 300 WOBA over the last 150. Over the last 20, 243 average, 129 ISO, 308 WOBA. So slightly better numbers, but still not anything to write home about. Flaherty's dominant, has been dominant versus them. Combined K rate, 25%. I'm fine going some Flaherty. It's just too good of a matchup to not have a little bit with the upside. However, just remember, he hasn't really been that great this year. He did just have a great outing versus San Francisco, so maybe he's figured some stuff out and he's going to go on a little run here. Like him, don't love the spot. Next, we got Joe Ryan, 10K, 21-point projection. 18-point consensus. It is the highest consensus, our highest projected. He is similarly owned, 32% owned, and Joe Ryan has been just amazing this year. Now he's in a tough spot versus the A's. The A's definitely can hit the ball. They are a little boom bust though. But the thing about Joe Ryan, he has a 2.03 FIP over his last 5 starts. He's been just amazing. 3.26 over the last 20. So good over both the short and the long term. 35% K rate over that short term though, and 28% over the long term. StatCast data has been all right. He is allowing 50% fly balls though, and tonight, they're in Sacramento where there's warm temps. The winds are blowing out at double digits. Not the best pitching weather that might aid the athletics to get on him a little bit, but I do like Joe Ryan. He's just been simply too good not to consider. Makes some sense that he is going high owned, but this A's team is a little tricky. They do have some pop right around 180 ISO, just slightly below 180. The average 255 on both time frames here, and striking out at 21%. So they haven't been striking out too much. They've been hitting the ball hard. I don't mind some Joe Ryan, though. 28% combined K rate. That type of upside is just too good to pass up when he has also been very good at limiting runs. Next, we got Aaron Civale, 6K. Look, we only have a 12-point projection. The consensus is only 11. He is just priced super cheap. That is the only reason he's popping up and getting some ownership right now. I don't love the spot. He's in Great American Small Park. He is versus the Reds, who can hit the ball hard. And then you look at Civale as a whole, 5.22 FIP, 5.2 FIP over his last 20. K rate's not up there, allowing 64% fly balls, but most of that has been soft or weak contact. Hard contact's only 24%. Soft contact is 16%. The Cincinnati splits, however, very much in the favor of them. I don't love this spot. Kind of surprised he's going high owned. I personally probably will not have much Civale. Next, we got Logan Webb, 9.7K, 20.64 point projection. Logan Webb has been extremely good this year. 2.84 FIP over his last 5. 2.68 FIP over his last 20. Strikeout rate around 25%. StatCast data is decent. Ton of ground balls. Almost 40% hard contact, though, so we do have to worry about that versus the Padres a little bit, who can definitely hit the ball well. However, Padres aren't striking out much. Solid offense. They get on base a lot. I like the spot. I don't love it. And the BVP data versus the Padres, 161 plate attempts. So a very large sample size. 338 is the average. Low ISO, not many home runs, high WOBA though, and a low strikeout rate. So far, what we've seen is you don't really want Logan Webb versus the Padres. The upside isn't totally there. Do I mind a little bit? Absolutely not, but I'm definitely not going to go out of my way to get him in this spot. So that's my one worry there. Dustin May, 8K, 15-point projection versus the Mets. I'm fine having a little bit. I'm not going to go overboard with that. Blackburn, another spot I don't love. Stephen Kolek, 8.2K versus the Giants offense. Don't love that. Pitching's just kind of rough today. Tyler Anderson, 7.2K versus the Boston Red Sox. Tyler Anderson can have those odd, big games. For that reason, I'm a little bit interested in him. 225 average is what Boston has versus lefties over the last 20 games. 127 ISO, 284 WOBA, striking out at 29%. They've been bad versus lefties lately. Tyler Anderson can have sneaky good games. I think he's worthy of some pivots as far as a low-owned pitcher, as well as Severino at 7K. Severino has been way worse at home, so you got to worry about that, especially with some nice hitting weather there. But Minnesota striking out at 23% versus righties. Severino has been pretty solid. 2.97 FIP over his last 5 starts. 3.69 over the last 20. The issue with him is there's just not big-time strikeout upside at this point in his career. So I'm interested in a little Severino, but just not going to go overboard. I do think he's probably going a little under-owned, and there's some leverage because this game might be a little popular with the type of hitting weather we're seeing. And then next, we got Richard Fitts. Richard Fitts is actually a fairly good pitcher. The issue here is he just came back from injury, only went 44 pitches last time out. Not totally sure how much leash they're going to give him versus these Angels. If he's able to go, I like the spot for him. He's been good at limited runs. mid to high threes FIP. The Angels strike out a lot, so I think there's some pluses to this matchup, and he's going a little low owned. But as the day goes on, if we can figure out anything as far as what his pitch limit is, it'll be interesting to see if he can go 80 pitches or so at 6,600 in this matchup. It is a little bit interesting. Just not sure what his limit will be. Now, let's get over to FanDuel, see what we got pitching-wise over here. Jack Flaherty, Joe Ryan, 2 highest owned, as they should. You can consider Logan Webb there, and then consider Tyler Anderson. And then as far as FanDuel, don't really love anything else. Probably going to go somewhat chalky today at pitching over on FanDuel. Now, let's get over to some stacks and round this out. Our highest owned stack for the day, we got the Boston Red Sox, 94% owned. As I said, Tyler Anderson, huge leverage. I don't love the idea of facing Tyler Anderson. He is a little bit of annoying to stack against. He can limit runs. He can work deep into games efficiently, only giving up, 2-3 runs. Kind of like a Kyle Hendricks, where he's another guy that I just don't love to stack against. But the A's bullpen is terrible. So if you can get to Tyler Anderson, if you can get him out early, there is some upside. So I don't mind some Red Sox stacks, but I'm definitely not going to go out of my way to get to him. Next, Detroit, 81% versus Jonathan Cannon. I love that spot. Cannon has been good in the short term, but his longer, bigger body of work isn't all that impressive, so I don't mind trying to pick on him a little bit. Then we got Milwaukee versus Brady Singer at a Great American Small Park. Singer has a FIP of 5.02 over the last 5 starts, so I don't mind going there a little bit. He can give up a couple big home runs. We got almost 80-degree weather there and very light winds, so I like that spot as well. Highest projected, we got Dodgers and Milwaukee, with Mets showing up, and Minnesota a little bit. Dodgers in a decent spot versus Paul Blackburn. Paul Blackburn, we know what we got here. He's been in the league for a while. Not exceptional with anything. 4.8 FIP. He's decent. But all in all, this Dodgers lineup can literally get to everybody, so I don't need to go too much into that. Mets popping up versus Dustin May. Dustin May is 4.68 FIP over the last 5. A little bit of interest there. One of the highest game totals on the slate as well. And then Minnesota versus Severino. Severino splits, home and away, are huge. He's given it up a little bit at home. Now, is that just because he faced some good offenses in a hitter-friendly park, or is there something there that, he just doesn't pitch as well there? Who knows? But with that alone, I'd say there's some interest there. It's 80 degrees. The winds are blowing out at double digits. The ball's going to fly, and we've seen that park be very, very hitter-friendly so far. So definitely have some interest in Minnesota. Now, our high value, we got White Sox, Milwaukee. Milwaukee, we talked about, very much interested in there. Jack Flaherty versus the White Sox. Flaherty hasn't been all that great. We're talking about a 4.981 FIP over the last 20, 4.56 over the last 5. White Sox can get to somebody. We're still talking about major league hitters, and if Flaherty's not on his game, they can get to him. So I don't mind a little bit of White Sox there. Huge leverage spot. Highest ceiling, we got Milwaukee and we got Dodgers. We've talked about them. And our highest leverage, we got Padres versus Logan Webb. We already talked about Logan Webb splits and the BVP data versus the Padres. Padres been able to get to him. So wouldn't be all that surprising if they were able to get to him again. Cincinnati's popping up. The A's are popping up. Don't mind either of them as well. And let's click the teams tab here. 5.2 implied run total for Minnesota. Boston's at 5.1. Dodgers at 5.1. Detroit is at 5. Those are the 4 main stacks that people are going to go to. Those are the 4 highest implied totals. Then we have 4.5 for Milwaukee and Cincinnati at Great American Small Park. Obviously has some interest. Angels versus Richard Fitz. Mets versus Dustin May. A's versus Joe Ryan. All have slight interest, but I wouldn't be going too hard at them. The Giants versus Stephen Kolek is a little interesting. 44% hard contact, 93 mile an hour average exit velocity. Obviously, has some intrigue to it, so I don't mind some Giants in San Francisco. The Padres bullpen over the last month or so has been a little shaky as well. And then the White Sox leverage play versus Jack Flaherty. So that will do it for us today, guys. I appreciate you guys joining us. Come join us at LineStar. Have a good one. Talk to y'all later.